everyone, thanks so much for coming through to this video. Today we are going to draw this snowboarder, and it's part of one of the learn to draw sheets that you can get from my winter book. This is available in Amazon, the link is below, or if you go to the community tab, you'll find there a link to all the sheets that you can download for free. So yeah, pop over there and you can join in with me and have a copy next to you. So we're going to draw out our snowboarder. All you'll need is an HB pencil. It doesn't have to be, but just somewhere in the middle, like an HB, a 2B or a 2H. You'll need an eraser, and I think that's about it. You'll need your paper, and don't forget the printable or the book to follow along. Okay, so as you can see from the picture above, that's the final image, and what I'm going to do is click back. The book shows you how to do it step by step, and it starts just with the snowboarder's body. So what I would do to start with is think about where on your paper it's going to go. So that's a square image that I've been working on, and you'll be working probably on A4 paper. So imagine there's like a 5 centimeter strip at the top and bottom that you're not going to work on, and then you've got your square space to start with. Now for me, I would kind of think, right, so I'm going to draw a line across to show where that is. Now, for my piece of A4 paper, I'm going to kind of imagine a line going down the middle. And just over that line will be where I'm going to start. And it's going to be a little bit down from the space at the top. So here, I'm just going to draw in a funny little wiggly shape like that. I hope you can see that okay. And this is his hand. So basically, it's just like a mitten, and it's pointing up. Then we're going to do the cuff on his sleeve, which is a rectangle, but it's just got curves. I hope you can see that okay. I'm just bringing it down a bit more for you. Then as you come along, we're going to carry on. It's coming down at an angle towards his body, and we're just going to wriggle it, basically make a wiggly line like that, and that brings his arm down to his body. And then what we need to do, as you can see on the picture, is draw in the shoulder part, which is quite a long bit there. Okay, and that's all you should have so far. We're not going to draw any of the head for now, but we are going to draw the space where his head will fit in. So we're just going to come up and around underneath his chin and around here as well, and that's kind of just putting the place in where his coat comes up to his chin and is just sitting there. Okay, so we're going to come in here as a starting point underneath where his neck is. Draw in a little shoulder, because it's the shoulder that's furthest away. It won't be so big. It's more into the distance at an angle. And then we're going to come down and just make a wiggly line like that again. And we'll pop in his cuff, which again is a rectangle that we've just curved. Then another mitten shape. So it's much simpler than you think once you get going. We're going to come up to about here and then just draw his body in, which is a little line down there and a slightly longer one here. So that's all you should have drawn in at the moment. Then we're going to come into the legs, which are easier than you think. So we come down to where his top is, a little bit lower, and that's where the middle of his legs are. Okay, so we're going to come up and over and straight down. And that's practically the first leg done. Come across to the bottom to make the bottom of his trousers. Do an S line there to the bottom of the trousers. And curve underneath. That's where his bottom is. And then we're going to do the other leg, coming up and down the same. Another bit there. Straighten off at the bottom. Maybe do a little curve there to show the trousers coming round, because we can see underneath. Now, that's his body done basically. We're going to work on the feet. Now this one is pretty much facing forwards, so we're just going to draw it like that. So we come down, curve, straight, curve, and up again. Now what I do recommend is that you watch these videos all the way through so that you can see how it's going to go. Then come back to the beginning, watch a bit, draw it whilst you've paused, watch a bit, draw it whilst you've paused. Okay, if you're at that beginner stage, you'll need to do that. Right, so the other foot is more to the side. So we're going to have to draw like the thick ankle boot of the ski boot. I want to draw the toe in and then the back in, and they're literally just two curves, around and around, and then the line underneath. Okay. So now all there is to do on his body, and as you can see on the sheet up there, is to fill in just some of the decorative lines. So for me, I'm just going to put in kind of a wiggly line that comes all the way down the top of the front of his jacket, and that marks where the zip is. Then we're going to come in and just draw some lines down and around, slightly curved, and all that does is show movement in his clothes, particularly around the areas that will be crumpled, which are the elbow. There'll be crumplings around the front and further down the arm, but especially near the elbow and the armpit area. Right, let's have a look at the legs. So there'll be a few curves at the bottom where the trousers are kind of collecting, because they'll be thicker and wider than the body, but as he bends they will move, so we put movement lines in there. So each line we do is just telling a story of what is happening with his clothes. So that's all that is, that's all we're doing. Okay, so body done. We could draw some little curves in there just to give that some movement as well. Okay, so that's step 1 in the book or on the sheets. You can download them, don't forget, on the community tab. There's a link right there for you. The next stage is just to draw the boarding and his head. Right, so this is the fun bit. This comes together quite quickly, more quicker than you realise. So we're going to imagine there's a circle here. Okay, it's not going to be a circle because it's going to be his face, but just, can you see I've just drawn a slight circle there. Now halfway up I'm going to draw a rectangle with a curve on the end. That's holding his glasses in place, and then I'm going to draw a curve and then an upside down 3 kind of, and then that creates the shape of his sunglasses. And then we're going to do another curve here that does the side of his hat that's coming down and covering his ears. Then we have to draw a strap in, which is holding his hat on, and then we can come in and just draw a little nose, which is a diagonal line and a line across, and then come down, a mouth, and there's his face drawn in. Yeah, that's right. And then we need to come round here, and then we make his hat a bit smaller to fit his face. There we go. Okay, so next, let's just rub that bit out. Next is the board itself, which is going underneath his feet in a diagonal motion, coming down and curving on this side, straight down, curving on this side, and we're just going to show the curve of the end of the board like that. Looking at his face, and I think I've drawn that a bit small. Let's go in and do that again. Remember, don't be afraid to go back in and change. And I would say to you as well, press lightly. I am pressing quite hard because I want you to see, but you're not. So press lightly and then you can rub it out. Okay, he's done. He's done. He's done. So what I've forgotten to do is to come around again with his top. There. Now the next thing we're going to do, oh, I've forgotten the stripes. Let's do the stripes. We need stripes on his glasses. I don't know if you can hear noise in the background, guys, but if you can, just ignore it. It's just some of my products are being made in the background using heat presses, and they have alarms. Right, moving on. Next step. This is quite a fun step. We're going to draw in the I think it's a ledge. I suppose you can call it a ledge or a cliff. It doesn't really matter. Now this will, if you come across from the very end of the board here, okay, just use that as a guide, and then come up a bit and across. Then you've got somewhere to start drawing your ledge in, because it needs to be higher as he's coming down. Once you've done that, we're just going to go over the top of it as though there's a big lump of snow there. We're going to bring the swirl round. Sorry, I moved you out of the way then, didn't I? There we go. I'm going to bring the swirl round, and then we need to think about the drops coming from it. So here we go. I mean, even I'm looking back at the sheet to make sure I'm getting it right, so make sure that you are too. I want to try and get it as close to the sheet as I can, because I want you to see how it's done. But of course, you can alter it and change it however you want. It's not a problem. Yours doesn't have to look exactly the same, but because I'm doing it to teach you all, I want it to look the same. So I'm really looking, but you look too. Observation, observation is what I always say with artwork. Look, look, and look again. So I'm just drawing in some drops there. I think we should probably do the bit here with the snow coming out underneath as well now. Let's do that. The hardest bit is over, really. The hardest bit to start with was the man, and it's most definitely out the way. Now we've just got the fun bit of kind of decorating the rest of the sheet and getting it how we want it. So these basically are just the splodges that have come off the snow because he's come off, so there's snow going everywhere. So all we need to draw in as well is a few more bits of snow going that way. So let's just, anywhere, it doesn't really matter, wherever you want to draw them, like so. Do some little ones and some larger ones and dot them round. Don't be too even about it, because nothing is even in nature. Put like groups of them everywhere and things like that. Okay, so that's done as well. I mean, you can put some shade lines in if you want to on the cliff side, just to show that it has something about it. Let's have that coming round a bit. Okay, so now we're going to draw the clouds in, I think. Let's look at the next step. Yeah, time for the clouds. So there's one behind his head, and all you need to do is just start there at the back of his head and just draw lots of little curly C's, like C shapes, semicircles, until you've got your cloud shape. It doesn't have to be the same as the one already there, as I've said. I'm just trying to get it exactly the same or as close to for your learning's sake. And then you come inside the clouds and just put some curves in. Make sure that they're dotted around. Just do another cloud over here. Again, just put them in wherever you want them. They're just semicircles, and then lots of semicircles inside as well to give it that feeling of fluffiness. And then we'll have a few here, like so. And then, oh, there's one in front of the other, so I'll draw that one first, like so. There we are. Don't forget, even though we've got those snow bits in front of it, we still need to put in the lines to guide us to say this is a fluffy cloud. Remember, each line we draw, everything we do is just trying to tell the story of what is actually there. Right, I think I've got all the clouds in. Oh, we have to do this bit down here, which is, I think, it was meant to be like a mountain in the background, so it's kind of far away. It's the best way I can put it. And okay, so we just put some markings in on the mountain. It kind of gives the impression that there's highs and lows and there's crevices in there. So that's all that's for. Okay, so I think we're done really. The next stage is stage 6, which is just showing you the final image all in black. There is obviously also snow, but I'm not going to draw that in until I use pen. So what you need is a black liner of some sort to finish off. I normally use a 0.3 micron. For those of you that know about liners, the microns are kind of the better ones out there, and they come in different numbers, as you can see there. 0.3 is what I'd normally use, but I've used it up and I need to get another one, and I keep forgetting to order it. So we're going to have 0.4. So I'm just going to pause you a moment, go and get a drink, and I'll be back and we'll finish off that. Okay, I'm back. So what we're going to do is go over it in black. And what we'll do is, now that we are doing the pen work, we can fill in the snow as well and finish off the whole picture. Can you see it there? I hope I wasn't doing that off camera. Okay, hopefully you can see what I've done. Right, so let's just draw him in. So at this point, can I please just remind you all to click the subscribe button and the notification bell. It would be lovely to have some new followers. Don't forget to like or comment. All of this, just, it helps the algorithm to pick up that people are watching me, and it helps my channel to grow. And I am very new, so I would appreciate it if you did do that for me. That would be awesome. Right. So I'm just focusing on getting the man right first, because he is the trickiest part of the picture. And I am literally just going over in black. So if you wanted to just fast forward this bit, that's fine. Or you can pause or stop where you are, because I am literally just penning over what I've already done. But as I say, please do subscribe, like, comment, share, click the notification bell before you go, please. Thanks, guys. Okay. What is quite nice about these videos as well is I don't put music on in the background, because I think whilst you're doing this, yeah, you can be putting music on. There we go, one cloud done. And another one. Literally just going all the way around. And I would just say you can move your paper around so it's not hurting your wrist so much, and you can do whatever you need. I am not doing that just because I want you to see it the right way up. But move it around. Try not to change your hand angle, because it is trickier. Okay, just going to fill in the marks of those clouds. And it really does finish it off by going over it in pen. And then you can decide what you want to do with it. You can colour it in any way that you want. I'll be showing you how to do it with alcohol markers, the brush ones from 𝐿𝐻𝐻, and I will do watercolours and also acrylic paints. So they should be there somewhere when you have a look on the channel under winter themed art. Once they all get loaded up, this is the first one. Okay, and come down, create our little lump of snow, create our little mountain. And then we're just putting those lines in again on the mountain. It's just hatching, and it kind of just gives it some depth. And then we're going to do the ripple in the background of the snow. Show that it's kind of curving round that part of the cliff edge. Mustn't forget to draw over a snowboard again. I mean, you can get a ruler out if you want to really think about being that straight, but honestly, just use your eye. it looks so much better if it's hand drawn and a bit wibbly wobbly. It's fine. Right, and going over the background, which is our little mountain. Again, using the hatching lines, it just creates that bit of movement in the mountain, makes it a bit more 3D. There, all done. So the last thing I would do is just rub all the pencil out. Yeah, and then you can colour it in any way you want. These designs are meant so that they can be illustrations that you can use in your sketchbook, your scrapbook, or just colouring in, whatever you like. You can add bits to them, like gems and things like that, whatever you like. Oh, we didn't do the snow. That's what we can do. Let's try an O2. We'll do the snow. So to go all over it in little circles to create the snow. So I suggest you going here, there, everywhere. Bigger circles, little circles. And make sure you go over the front of him as well, because I haven't done that in the drawing, but actually the snow will be falling on him if it's snowing, won't it? So don't forget to do that. Little bits of snow here and there. And then we are definitely done. This is just a repetitive task, so again, if you want to stop here, that's fine. Or you can mute me, put some music on, and just have me on while you're working. And make sure when you're doing the snow that you have little clusters, because it won't be falling all spread out perfectly and neatly, which is what we want to do, what our brain wants us to do. Make sure it's got little clusters here and there of all different sizes, so that it looks a bit more real. There we are, all done. So don't forget, the book is available on Amazon. The sheets are on the community tab that you can download and print at home for free. Or yeah, and if you can subscribe as well, that'd be awesome. I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.